Well, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Luminata. Happy holidays. Happy solstice. Merry Christmas. The universe is governed by the law of cycles. And nothing in the universe actually ever really dies. Just that a cycle ends and a new cycle begins. And shamans know that it's very important how we begin a new cycle or a new endeavor, a new action, because they realize that the forces that we release through our actions will one day return to us in the form of events, circumstances, and the people that we meet. This is an aspect of the law of cycles. So tonight, Jon Rasmussen, our local shaman of great fame, is going to talk on new beginnings and how to initiate new cycles. And he's going to lead us in a ritual in honor of the Winter Solstice. So many of you know Jon, of course, and he's been trained in the Four Winds School of Alberto Villoldo and trained by the shamans in South America, the Andes, the Caro Indians, and he is a carrier of that wisdom tradition. So please join me in welcoming Jon Rasmussen tonight. Thank you. Thanks, Jon.
Thank you, Henry. Thank you. Greetings. Great to see you. Thanks for being here. So tonight we get to celebrate this amazing time of the year that, shamans of every culture and every tradition going back every part of the world have always taken their cues from nature, right? So it was just observational. What's going on there, because we're not separate from it. And if we stay in harmony with nature and we sort of mirror the cycles of nature, it just ensured that we were healthy and happy and thriving, that the village had the resources that it needed, is it going to rain? Where's the water? Very simple, basic stuff that my Caro teachers are still living, as many other indigenous cultures are still living, who've maintained that connection. And we never really lost it, even though some of our myths that have spread around the world say that we might have, but we never really did. And so this coming together like we're doing is reclaiming that for all of us. And it's such a wonderful thing to do together. And I'm really grateful that you're here to do it with, as a group. And and so the ritual and the ceremony is the way that we access those energies of nature most effectively. Not so much thinking, not so much talking, but it's really what we're going to do tonight with a journey and with these sticks, and I'll pass out the sticks if you didn't get one yet when it comes time. But these are the beautiful ceremonies that I've been fortunate to engage with now for several decades now, and again particularly with these Caro Indians from Peru. And these are the mesas that they initiate for us and that go through our training and healing journeys. And so they carry the medicine, they carry all the knowledge and information and experience that have been passed down from shaman to student for tens of thousands of years, and it's cumulative. So knowing that you're feeling like a sort of modern Westerner perhaps today, just keep in mind that this is all contained within your being, your soul. It's connected. It has access to these wisdom teachings and ceremonies and rituals. So when we engage with it, it's very powerful, no matter who you are, where you're from, and what your history is. And so this time of year, the winter solstice, when we look at nature, we recognize, at least in the northern hemisphere here, that the days are shortest and the nights are longest, and it's cold and it's often snowy, and signs of life are hard to find in the trees and the plants and things like this, right? And the animals. So this was the time that was most natural to go within, to meditate, to do ceremony, to journey, to take advantage of the long nights, to dream your world into being, dream the next cycle. What do you want this next year to look like? How might it be different than the previous? So it's a beautiful opportunity to do ceremony and ritual. And of course, I think most of us perhaps know that the whole concept of Christmas and Santa Claus and the whole thing that we know today, and the gifts and the flying reindeer and the chimneys and all that originates in Siberia with the shamans who would, have these red and white mushrooms and feed them to the reindeer or dry them on a tree, which was the ornament thing, because they were poisonous if you just ate them right away. But if you fed them to the reindeer and then you'd eat the yellow snow, you would then have the same effects of the mushroom without. And of course, the good news is we don't have to do that here at Luminata. We can access those same realms, without ingesting anything particularly. And that's the beauty also of my tarot teachers from where they live. There aren't any of these sort of, hallucinogen type plant medicines and things like that, but we can still get there. And that's what's great. So I'll be drumming, I'm going to guide you on a journey, and it's the same journey that all these traditions speak of, where you get into an altered state and you're flying, along with the reindeer, of course, because they eat the mushrooms too. And you're going out the smokestack of your yurt or your teepee or, your fireplace, and you're going off, and the whole point of that was to bring back gifts to the village of insights, wisdom, ideas, prophecies even. The shaman would come back and share what they saw, so that if the village needed to do something with it, like change when they plant the corn or move or do rain prayers or just whatever the case is. These gifts were kind of life and death at that time, right? When you think about that just primal living, these things really were critical. Just to have a slight vision or wisdom or insight was huge. And so it's still available today. It's still part of what's available to each and every one of you, and to your village, your friends, your family, whoever you love, whoever you're around. When the Karo greet each other, being a shamanic tribe that goes back, tens of thousands of years, they they don't just say, "How are you?" They have a word in Quechua that they say, "Ayanchu," which in their language means, "How does your village live within you?" Kind of knowing that that's about as good as you're going to be doing. Because if the village isn't thriving and they're having trouble, you're not going to really make it alone, so much. So, and the response is hopefully Ayami, which means my village lives well within me. Everything's good. We're doing good. So it's that spirit that tonight I want you to be thinking about a little bit, because whatever gifts are good for you are most likely good for your village. Whatever you come back with, whatever insights, whatever wisdom, whatever vision, whatever ideas you can get from tonight, as we do this journey to look for those gifts, will be something that you'll be able to share, in one way or another. And if there's a sort of really practical application for it, a decision you might make, a change you might make in your life, something you've been putting off, something you have wanted to do but have trouble doing, changing a habit or changing just anything. And part of the title of this talk and my idea was New Beginnings, right? Because this is the opportunity, as the sun, settles at this time tomorrow, I believe, for a few days it appears to stop its progression towards the south, right, the shortest days, and then it begins to rise again. That's where the death of the sun, and then the 3 days later the resurrection, right? Is that it's we made it. It's back. It didn't keep going, right? We're gonna live. It's coming back. Yay! You know, we can celebrate. So that's the deal. And so so let's I'm gonna open. So I'll describe what we're gonna do. I'm gonna open sacred space, which is a way of just praying, calling on the team, bringing in the forces of nature to get into a place where we're ready to access that altered state. We're ready to go on that journey in a way that's safe, you know, where you're safe and it's okay to do that, and your body is safe while you're in the journey, while you're sitting here. And then I'm gonna, you know, we'll guide you on a journey, and we'll have sticks in our hands, and if you want to come up and get one still, you can, or I'll pass it to you. But at the point that we will be on this journey, there's an opportunity, just like in nature, when something physically dies. I know Emery said there's no death, and that's true. It's just cycles. Energy stays alive, but the physical, you know, can the leaves and the things can pass. And what do we do with that? Usually it gets mulched, right? We bury it or we burn it, and the earth recycles it and turns it into fertilizer. So part of this journey will be to recognize what's your fertilizer. What is it that you've been going through? It could be something actually very difficult even, or it could be, again, an old way of being, and an old, you know, situation or painful experience of any sort, physical, health, relationships, work, resources. This is the opportunity to recognize that can now be converted into fertilizer for your new vision. So we take advantage of that. We don't just let it go. We want to use that. So what we do is we use our breath. The breath is always used to move energy and information in these traditions. Kamayok in Quechua, the power of the breath. Ruha in Aramaic, I believe, you know, Jesus's language, which was translated as Holy Spirit, but also means breath. So when you breathe on somebody, it can be very healing. When you need to change how you're feeling, you breathe it, you can breathe it out, you can blow it, you can change the thought by blowing, right? So just remember that. So we use that, and we'll have that stick, and we'll use our breath to move whatever it is that we want to let go, that we want to mulch. We will blow into the stick. So as we're doing the journey, when you think of something or it comes up, or you realize it during the journey, I don't need that anymore. That needs to go. You blow it into the stick and it becomes fertilizer energetically. And then we'll use the same stick to also on that journey look for the new story, the new vision, or the insights or the ideas, whatever it is you feel you need for this next cycle, this next year of your life, an extraordinary year that we are absolutely gifted to have while we're here, right? I mean, every day is a death and rebirth in some ways, and it certainly was when things were, you know, more precarious for us. So you woke up that next day, it was a big deal, you know. And so we look at this next year as like, yeah, the last, we've been joking earlier about this being the last everything of the decade, right? Kind of a nice thought. Well, also this is the first year not only of the next decade, it's the first year of the rest of your life. So it's huge. It's a big deal because it could be a completely new life in so many ways if you decide. And you do a little ritual, a little ceremony like this to bring it in. So that's the idea, and so we will see if we can get a glimpse of that vision in this altered state of the journey. Or just any kind of gift, and gifts can often come in symbols. So you might see an animal, or you might see an object. And when I say see, I mean whatever comes to your imagination. It's not that big a deal. It's not that complicated. You don't have to be super psychic or anything to do any of this. It's just imagining, daydreaming, right? And we're just making it a little easier with this ceremony and being together. So whatever you come up with, come back with, we'll blow that into the stick as well. And then you'll take that stick home, and one of the main ceremonies that the Caro do is called a despacho, which in Quechua essentially means gift. And they would get wrapping paper like gift paper. They'd put all the most important things in their life into this paper, sugar and seeds and raisins that represent, different things in their world, and clouds and rainbow threads. And so you can have as much fun as you want. You don't have to get that fancy, but you can certainly add a few offerings with your stick, perhaps in some simple paper wrapping. And then you can put that in a fire, and that, right, takes all of it and lets the earth sort of consume it, our true mother, right, our main mother, and then lets the prayers go up to the heavens. Okay, and so that's or you can just bury it. It's a little bit longer of a process, right, of mulching, but it's very effective as well. So you ready for that? Does that feel good? I'm going to do that. So I'm going to open space together. We'll face the directions. We started by facing the south. So if you want to stand up, we'll do that. And a little bell. To the winds of the south, Sachamama, Hatunamaru, come hold us in this healing space. Wrap your coils of light around us. Help us to shed the heavy energies, the old stories, the way you shed your skin, which is all at once, right here, right now, so that we can walk in beauty and wholeness in our full power as children of the earth, close to the earth, gently on ourselves and our bodies. Be with us. Ho. To the west. Turn one step to the right. To the winds of the west, Otorongo, great jaguar, come protect this medicine space for us. Allow us to leap beyond the need for battle, and instead to be peaceful, luminous beings, free and in our power to dream our world into being from a place of grace and ease and support, to call on our most ideal experiences and manifest them in a way that's even greater than our ancestors did, to take it beyond where they did, and to leave behind their wounds and stories and help all of them heal and be with us in this way, in this power and freedom. Be with us. Ho. To the right again, to the north. To the winds of the north. Great healers, wisdom keepers, lineages of all, ancestors and guardians of this land. Thank you for being with us, for helping us to take a seat at the table with you that we've never left. And hummingbird, Siwarkenti, come help us to drink of the nectar of life, to receive these blessings and this beauty that is life, and that we are free to take with us even when the journey seems difficult or the contrast seems great, that we can do that which seems impossible at that time. Be with us. Oh. To the winds of the east, Hatun Kuntur, great condor, Apuchi, Anka, eagle. Help us to soar high and have the broadest perspective, the clearest vision, to be able to take this journey wing to wing with Great Spirit, such that we're able to bring it back as well and grow corn with it. And to be able to feel this journey with our bodies, to feel with our hearts, to put our hearts above our heads, to honor the feminine once again in this way fully, the most powerful aspect of our being. Be with us. Ho. And to the earth. Pachamama, great mother. Thank you, mother. Thank you for being our true mother. For being in our bodies, the air, the water, all your children, the stone people, the plant people, the two-legged, the four-legged, the creepy crawlers, the fin, the furred, and the winged ones, our allies that bring us their medicine, their instincts, their characteristics that we need, and that we share this beautiful creation with and help them to heal and experience it in an even greater, more beautiful, powerful way here on your belly, Mother, here in our bodies. Thank you for supporting us in this way, and mulching our heavy energies as you do our waste, so that we can soar, we can be creators here on your belly. Be with us. Oh. To the heavens. Inti Taita, Father Sun, Mama Kia, Grandmother Moon, Hatun Chaska, Star Brothers and Sisters. We thank you for showering us with your energy, your cycles, your light that make life possible for us here. And that you do this unconditionally without judgment, teaching us to treat ourselves and each other this way. And Great Spirit Letitia Wirakocha, Wakantanka, God, creator of all that is, you are known by 1,000 names, yet the innameable one that dwells within us and all around us in all forms. Thank you for bringing us together to sing this song of life one more day, to dance this dance of co-creation, to take it beyond where it's been before, new possibilities, new levels of beauty and joy, peace and exhilaration for us, for our entire village, for all beings everywhere. Thank you for this opportunity. Oh. Okay, who else needs a stick at this point? Everybody got one? Did you get a stick? Okay, good. All right, so go ahead and have a seat and we'll do this journey. Okay, so this time I'm going to use the drum. I've been using my rattles a lot, but tonight I felt like the drum was good. Okay. So I'd love you to take a few deep breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. And to the extent that you want to, you can continue to breathe that way through the journey. And just letting the breath fall out with ease and grace, no real effort, just letting it in and then fall out. Just imagine now sitting in a hut or a yurt or a teepee or even a cave around a fire. Feeling the warmth of the fire and the light as the bands of sunlight unwrapping themselves from the cells of the tree that they wrapped themselves around as the tree grew every day. So sitting there with the Father Sun on the Mother Earth as a natural being, essential self. You remember, in fact, the first fire ever that you sat around tens of thousands of years ago. It's no different now. And you have your beautiful sacred stick in your hand. From a magnificent grapevine that magically comes alive every season and reaches out to live, to thrive, new growth, and produce fruit. Representing our same opportunity. No matter what we've been through, no matter what dies and what we release, every day is a new opportunity, every season a chance for new beginnings. And as you look at that fire in front of you, imagine that beautiful fire. Feel your ability for your soul to release and fly up, following the flames and the smoke out the opening, and flying up into space, supported by your animals, whatever they are for you, perhaps a dog or a horse or a cat or a deer. Together, you fly up and up and up, so far that you're out into space. You see the blue ball of Mother Earth far below. And you recognize the old experiences, the old ways and the old limits that you grew to accept. You thought maybe there's no way out, there's no other way. You have to live with it. This is your chance to look at those, to look at any of it, all of it. Raise the stick to your lips and blow all of it into that stick. It's not yours. It's not yours anymore. It doesn't have to be yours. Miracles happen. So let it go. Blow it into the stick. What you thought you were, what you thought you had, that was trouble, that was difficult. Blow it into the stick. Stick is holding that for you. It's not yours anymore. mother, your home for hundreds of thousands of years in the past and hundreds of thousands to come. And as you fly over the earth, just imagine the greatest possibilities for this lifetime and lifetimes to come for your soul to experience. What would be ideal? And we don't have to figure out how much time it takes. That's not for us. The universe works in mysterious ways. God works in mysterious ways. That part of us that sees the much bigger picture than our brains could ever see, we give it over to that. And we do it by bringing the stick once again to our lips and taking the feeling of the ideal, of the possibilities, of the sweetest dreams that you can imagine, and blowing that into the stick. Doesn't matter if you know how it's going to happen. Doesn't matter if you even think it's going to happen. Imagine it, feel it, blow it into the stick. Effort here tonight for this beautiful journey. It's not only for you, but for your village, for the entire world, perhaps. You receive a gift. Could be an insight, could be a teaching, could be an object that represents something. Allow yourself to receive this gift, whatever comes to your imagination. Because it's not only for you, it's a gift that you then are able to give. For this act of power, for this effort, gifted. So along with your stick, you're going to be coming back with this gift. And if your brain doesn't register it now, it will become obvious over the next couple of weeks. Come to you, your gift, and the gift that you bring back to the village. So find the light of your fire from your hut. Back down on the earth. As you fly over, and with your gift and with the stick, and with your power animals, make your way back down through the opening, through the chimney, through where the smoke is going. You find your body still sitting there next to the fire. And you go right in through the top of your body. And you go right into the center of your heart, this beautiful light. pure threads of energy of your soul spread out through your physical body, once again, connecting at each chakra point to your nervous system, easing into your cells, your heart and your lungs, your brain. You still feel the connection to hundreds of thousands of years ago, to those bodies, and you still feel the connection to hundreds of thousands of years from now, in the bodies you'll be in that will be manifesting and experiencing your vision. But for now, you're also back in this time and space. So we like you to maybe set the stick on your lap and rub your hands together. And feel your face, feel your shoulders, your hips, your legs be fully present, your heart, your belly. Everybody doing okay? You present? Any questions? Anything you want to share? No? Okay, so like I mentioned, that stick now, if you have an opportunity to take it home, maybe wait a few days. If you think of something more, do more, add to the stick. It's all okay. There's no reason not to. This is your medicine. This is your power and freedom. So just add to it if something comes up in the next few days that is still troubling or still part of what you want to release. And if you have a new part of the dream and some desire, some wonderful, thought comes up, just add that as well. And then you can wrap a bow around it, or you can garnish it with more goodies like, other herbs and oils and gifts and things that you wish, or you can wrap it in a paper, do whatever you wish. It's yours to do. And then, find a place to either throw it into a fire, and you can do a little singing, a little chanting, a little humming, a little drumming, a little rattling, whatever you want to do. Any way you want. There's no right or wrong way to do any of that. It's all beautiful. And then you put it into the fire. Or, same thing, take it out, bury it somewhere, and let the earth mulch it that way. Good?
Thank you, Jon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm really grateful for you coming. Yes?
I have a way of embellishing it too. I have a thing for everybody tonight too, from the flower world. And
Thank you.
as you were saying all these things, I thought this would be perfect as our gesture of this season, love and friendship being the rose plant and the petal, and then in preparation for the new year of this releasing and burning and cleansing, and also just the tiniest gesture of a petal and a sage, a piece of sage. So there's one for each of you. Pass it around. Yeah, don't eat it. I wouldn't. Petite hors d'oeuvre, but
But I love that it's
To
also
go with
the red and white,
yeah.
because it's right.
And it's just like kind of perfect to go. I mean, I didn't know he was doing this, so.
Yeah, well, that's how we roll.
Yeah, and I have more. I'm not sure. It'd be funny if it came out just exactly, but
Right?
I have more under my sleeve. Up my sleeve.
Yeah, that's the red and white. And interestingly enough, again, sort of the universality of all of this. In the Caro Despachos, we use red and white petals of roses or chrysanthemum or something. Again, and the red for them represents the Mother Earth, like the blood red waters of the Mother. It's that power that in the northern Native Americans, the red road. So it's a universal thing. And then the white is the mountains and the connection to the spirit world where we journey, right? Because of the snow-capped mountains. And the color of spirit, pure spirit, is all the colors combined, which ends up being white, and all the elements, right? So I think it's all these things, and it's it's not meant to be mysterious. It's not meant to be difficult for your brain, to have to go through and study who does what and who does. It's really observational. You just look, you go, oh, look, it's a white mountain. Oh, look, and then you just do it. So know that you're free to always come up with your own symbolism, your own rituals, your own even ceremonies. And it's just as valid as any others ever, because we're all one. We're all the same, right? So anyway, thank you very much. Appreciate you all. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. And thank you, everyone, for coming out tonight. And just want to say, as you know, John goes to a great effort to do this. We don't charge for the event, so we do have love offering baskets for those who feel moved to offer something as a gesture. And also, we are open for shopping tonight. So please feel free to gather what you'd like and to make purchases. And we're open. Small commercial announcement. We are open tomorrow 11 to 8 and every day closing at 6 roughly on Christmas Eve. So thank you again for coming, and happy holidays, happy solstice, Merry Christmas. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Just out of curiosity, how many short were we? Were we short any?
You're perfect.
It was
Wow, so cool. Amazing.
One for John.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my God, it came out. Well, I can't.
My stick.
Now there's nothing. Yeah. I did.